Welcome into the PHLY Bets Show. I'm your host, Jamie Lynch. This is all made possible and brought to you by our friends at bet365. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up, and you can get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. So welcome in. I'm really mad at myself right as the show started there. I had a delicious turkey club bagel sandwich, and I meant to check my teeth on an everything bagel before the show started. So if I do this whole show live and I end up having some poppy seeds in my teeth, I'm the ass. But welcome in. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend last weekend. Tough sledding in the NFL, but we made some money on the college show last weekend. I think we kind of broke even a little bit on the NFL show. It's a weird season in the NFL. I was talking about this earlier with somebody in the office. Some of your best quarterbacks in the league are Jaden Daniels, a rookie, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, some of these reclamation projects like Geno Smith, these guys that have gotten a second opportunity at life in the NFL, and they're thriving. And one of those guys is Baker Mayfield. And let's just get it right into Thursday night football tonight on the Bet365 app. There's tons of great action. There's always odds, boosts, and promos and same-game parlays and all of that. A little bit of line movement in this game. It opened up as the Atlanta Falcons -2.5. It quickly, after opening, dropped down to the Falcons -1.5. As of this morning, when we're doing the show, it's back up to 2. I would have to imagine it probably middles out and stays around 2 with that full point movement over the week. So the Tampa Bay Bucks, 2-point road dogs at the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta. They're +110 on the money line. The over-under on this one comes in at 43.5. Now, a couple injuries did pop up yesterday for the Buccaneers, 2 big ones, that is, in Vita Vea and Mike Evans. So make sure you're checking out before you place your bets. The injury report today. Vita played last week, coming off an injury, so you would assume he plays again. But Mike Evans popped up with a little bit of a knee issue. Again, probably just a veteran getting a day off on a short week. But make sure you check out those injury reports and inactives before the game if you're a last-minute bet placer like myself. Always good to have all the information. All right, so we talked about it. Atlanta has moved from -2.5 to -1.5, now back up to -2. As of last night, 66% of the public money was on the over in this game. My personal gambling theory is when it gets to over 75%, I fade. So keep an eye on that. If a lot of people start betting the Thursday night football over primetime special, that might be one I fade. I might already be going under myself in this one because of some of the other trends in this game. But keep an eye on that. If it goes above 75% of the public money, that's an auto fade for me. So there's that. Todd Bowles is 4-8 against the over-under in NFC South matchups, and he has allowed more than 21 points in only 4 of those 12 divisional games. Again, another division game trend that leads to the under there. So that's a big one to keep in mind. Todd Bowles and his Bucks are 4-8 to the under in NFC South matchups, and they've allowed only over 21 points more than only 4 times in 12 games. So that is a trend. I put some stock in there. Tampa Bay on the year is 3-1 against the spread. The Atlanta Falcons only 1-3. So complete inverse there in against the spread numbers. 3 of the 4 Falcons games so far on the year have gone under. Again, another trend towards the under tonight, which currently sits at 43.5. Kirk Cousins, his career in Thursday night football, it seems like this guy's on primetime all the time. He's 4-6 in his career on Thursday games. Baker Mayfield, he's 2-1 on Thursday games on your Amazon Prime games tonight. So if you're thinking about betting first touchdowns tonight, I want you to think about Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucks because they have scored first in 7 of their last 9 games. The Eagles can tell you all about that last weekend. So if you're thinking Baker Mayfield gets in the end zone, I'm going to go with the Hall of Famer myself, Mike Evans. You can get him to score first touchdown tonight at +650. So I like Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans for the first touchdown tonight. Maybe if you're more of a running back guy, you can go with Bucky Irvin. the rookie meathead down by the goal line to just get it in. A couple other guys you could look at. A long odds one, I kind of wouldn't mind a little sprinkle there. Plus 1,800 for Cade Otton. So if you usually the way I view first touchdowns is I'll do a small $5, $10 bet, whatever it may be, on a long odds guy, and then somebody that I like say Mike Evans, maybe I put 20 or 25 and try to, come out in the positive there. So there's some trends for you tonight. I do like the Falcons to win this one. I think the Tampa Bay Bucks had a big emotional win at home last week. Now short week on the road. Give me the Falcons minus the 2. I like the under. And I like that Mike Evans first touchdown tonight. So best of luck to you there. A lot of numbers and trends in this matchup lead to the under. So keep that in mind when you're placing your bets tonight. Divisional matchups. A lot of times people get excited. Primetime football, think it's explosions and touchdowns. A lot of times these games go under. So that's your Thursday night football matchup. Make sure you're using code PHLY365 when you sign up at bet365. And make sure you're keeping your eyes peeled for our custom boosts here from PHLY. Those get released every Saturday night or Sunday morning. And the good people at bet365 usually boost up a nice same game parlay that I put together. So keep your eye out for those on the website. All right, let's get into the college slate this weekend. Number 9, Missouri, the only top 25 matchup of the weekend. Number 9, Missouri is traveling to number 25, Texas A&M. Missouri +2, plus 110 on the money line. Over under on this one comes in at 48.5. Now, this is another one. Don't have the full information yet, but Weigman, the Texas A&M quarterback, has missed the last 2 games due to injury. He was apparently close last weekend. No definitive word yet if he's going to be starting or not. So you want to keep your eyes peeled on that one. But the good news is the backup, true freshman Marcel Reed, has done really well in the 2 games he's stepped in so far. 6 touchdowns, no picks. When your backup quarterback can come in and protect the ball and put up some touchdowns like that, that's always a great thing. Texas A&M, they're employing a little bit of the bend but don't break defense this year. They're allowing teams 330 yards on average defensively, but they're keeping the numbers relatively low. Kind of a recipe, a little bit of blame with fire there. Texas A&M has gone under in 3 of the 4 games so far on the year versus major conference opponents, which of course Missouri is. Missouri is 2-0 against the spread as a road dog this year, and the Tigers have split their last 3 games the last 4 games against the total. Texas A&M is 10-13 against the spread as a home favorite over the past 5 years. I'm going to go with Missouri. They burned me earlier this year. They're a highly talented roster. So I'm going to take them as a dog at Texas A&M in front of the 12th man, and also give me the over in this one. So I'm going to go with Mizzou, the Tigers, as the road dog. Give me the +2. Might think about a money line come Saturday there. All right, another SEC game. Auburn. The Tigers are headed to number 5, Georgia. Georgia coming off a wild game last week versus Alabama. That was a fun one. We gave out Alabama last week. I loved them last week. Huge win for them. Georgia, look, more than alive in the college football playoff. They only dropped down to number 5. But this is a big game for them to kind of refocus and get back on track here. They're a 24-point favorite, minus 1,300 on the money line. Over-under on this one is 52. Comes in at 52. Georgia so far 1-1 in SEC play. Auburn 0-2 in SEC play. Georgia just 2-3 on the year against the spread. Auburn is 2-3 against the spread. Georgia is 1-3 against the spread. So neither of these teams are against the spread darlings at all. Auburn is 2-4 against the spread in its last 6. Georgia 2-5 in its last 7. Auburn is 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 against Georgia specifically. Georgia is 8-0 against the spread in its last 8 home games versus Alabama. Let me repeat that one for you. Georgia has covered 8 straight games versus Auburn. I said Alabama, I meant Auburn. 8-0 against the spread in their last 8 home games versus Auburn. Auburn 0-8 and it's against the spread in its last 8 road games versus Georgia. That's how that works. One is 8-0, the other is 0-8. The total has gone under in 6 of Georgia's last 8 games. I think this is the game that Georgia gets back on track. The offense finally clicks. It seemed to be coming together there in the second half as they crawled back into last week's game. I think they put it together this week, cover the big number. I'm not afraid by their trends here, but I do like that 8-0 against Auburn at home number. So I'll take Georgia minus 24 on this one. If I had to make an over-under play, I'd probably lean towards the under a little bit. All right, next up, number 4, Tennessee. They move up in the rankings there. They're heading to Arkansas to take on the Razorbacks. Tennessee, minus 13.5, minus 550 on the money line. Over-under on this one is 58. The Razorbacks have kind of been all over the place this year in terms of success. Last week, they struggled to put away a UAB team as a 23.5 point favorite. They've showed up versus some good teams. They've looked lackadaisical versus some lesser teams. So no real good read yet on Arkansas, except maybe that they play up to their opponent and play down to their opponent. So if you're an Arkansas fan, maybe they play up to their opponent in Tennessee this weekend. Tennessee, that's a high-powered offense. They lead the SEC in scoring, and they have a very strong defense to back it up, which is a championship caliber formula right there. Tennessee, in their last 9 games against the spread, they're 6-3 as a road favorite in the past 4 years under Heupel. Arkansas is just 5-4 against the spread as a home underdog in the last 5 seasons under Pittman. Tennessee has gone over the number in 20 of 32 games as a favorite under Heupel, and Arkansas has hit the over in 6 of their last 9 games. I like Tennessee here. Give me them. I think they can cover this by 2 touchdowns. Over under, probably not going to play it, but if I was to, say win all my bets and had some extra money to gamble with, I'd probably bet on the over in this one. That sounds like a fun bet. So that's my feeling there. Let's go Vols. All right, number 1, Alabama is heading to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt. Alabama, after the thrilling victory over Georgia last week, I think Kalen DeBoer, the head coach, has kind of stamped his mark on the college football season with that one. They come into Vanderbilt as a 23-point road favorite, minus 2,300 on the money line. Over-under on this one is 55.5. Could this be a little bit of an emotional letdown / look-ahead game for Alabama? Kind of that spot coming off the huge emotional game. You kind of think Vanderbilt's a cakewalk in the park. I'm leaning towards Vanderbilt to cover the number in this one because of that fact. Bama has made us some cash lately, so it's really hard to turn my back on them. But Milroe is probably your Heisman favorite at this point, him or Travis Hunter. He has 10 touchdowns through the air, 8 rushing. Milroe looks poised to be in that Heisman finalist talk. Alabama, well, they're 11th in yards per play allowed and 8th in passing yards, yards per pass allowed. Vanderbilt had a good showing last week versus Missouri, earlier in the year. That's the game we actually bet Missouri, and Vanderbilt covered the number on that one. So this is a big test game for them as a program. Both teams on the year are 3-1 against the spread. And Alabama has put up at least 50 points in each of their last 2 wins versus Vandy. They put up 55 as a 40.5 point favorite, and they put up 59-0 whopping as a 19.5 point road favorite back in 2017. So this has been a one-sided way. I'm going to take Vanderbilt, as gross as that is to say, to cover that big number. Maybe they keep it close. Maybe I look like an idiot come Saturday night. Either way, we'll find out. All right, number 10, Michigan is heading at Washington, to the beautiful Washington Stadium. Michigan is +3 on the road. You can get them +115 on the money line. Over-under on this one is 41.5. Washington is 3-2, 1-1 in the Big Ten play on the season, and they came off a loss at Rutgers, where LaSalle High School Sam Brown scored a touchdown. What up, Sam? Nice work. After beating Northwestern and losing to Washington State, the Huskies' best win this season is versus Northwestern in their debut in Big Ten play. The Michigan Wolverines, they're on the road for the first time all season after 5 consecutive home games. That's wild. After getting blown out by Texas in week 2, Michigan 4-1 on the year, 3-1 in Big Ten play, has rebounded nicely. They've won 3 straight, including the big one last week versus USC at home. Washington on the year is 4-0 to the under, and they're 3-1 against the spread. So Washington's been a nice cover team for people out there. Michigan, on the other hand, just 1-4 against the spread this year and 3-2 to the over. Washington is 9-7-1 against the spread as a home favorite since 2022, and 9-7-1 to the under as well. So no huge trend or tell there. Michigan has only been a road underdog in 2 games since 2020 and is 2-0 to the under and 2-0 against the spread in those games. If you take it back to 2018, they're 3-1 in that same situation. Give me Michigan here. I'll take the road dog here against Washington. Michigan seems to have righted the ship a little bit. Still no great quarterback play. And then the final game of the weekend for you local yokels, Penn State, Nittany Lion folk. UCLA is coming into Penn State. That's still weird to me. But the Nittany Lions, number 7 in the country. They find themselves as a 27.5-point favorite. Minus 3,500 on the money line. Over-under comes in at this one at 47 points. Penn State is 4-0 in their last 4 games. They're 2-2 against the spread in those 4 games, and they're 1-0 in their road games against the spread this year. The totals have gone over in 1 of the last 4 Penn State games, so they're an under team. The total's gone over in 1 of Penn State's last 3 home games. Nittany Lions are 14th in college football in third down percentage, converting nearly 52% of their third downs, and will be up against the 134th ranked UCLA defense in that category. UCLA lets up 57.1% of third down. Those are backbreaking swings in games. And if Penn State's just converting third downs all day, give me PSU to cover the number. Penn State has the 11th ranked offense in FBS in yards per game at almost 500 per game. And they take on a UCLA defense that's ranked 100th, giving up 398.3 yards per game. It's a big number. I always hate betting Penn State with big numbers, but there's no way in hell I will be taking UCLA in that game. Just can't bet on bad football teams. It's not in my DNA. So give me PSU in that one. So to share my picks of the week, our producer Julia has made a beautiful graphic for you. Tonight we're taking a long shot, same game parlay there on Bet365. A little plus 5,000 action for you. Falcons minus 1.5. Under, which is gross. Life is way too short to be betting unders, but sometimes you just got to do it. And Mike Evans gets the first tutty of the night. That's a nice little, I put a $5 spot on that. I think it paid out $255. So now I'm just considering how do I spend my $255 from the lovely people at Bet365. In college action, I like Missouri as the road dog this weekend. And also, I think this is the get-right game for the Georgia Bulldogs. Give me the big number with them, even though to this point they've been incapable of covering those big spreads. I'm riding with the dogs this weekend. I think this is the weekend they right the ship. So that's going to do it for us. A ton of games this weekend. Should be a great time. Let's start it off with some Thursday night football winnings. Do like the Falcons at home tonight, straight up outside of that parlay. So hopefully some of this information can help you become a more informed gambler. And you get what you pay for, which is me, an idiot. So you can't be too mad at me if, I give you a pick and it doesn't hit. But it's all brought to you by the lovely people at Bet365. Use code PHLY365 at sign up. You can get $200 in bonus bets after betting just $5. I'm still playing with house money from my bonus bets. We just got to keep that rolling and then never make a deposit. And we just take all Bet365's money together as a team. We got this, guys. All right, that's it for me. The next PHLY Bets show will be Sunday morning to preview all the NFL action ahead. Good gambling ahead, everyone. And don't forget, call 1-800-GAMBLER-REVIEW or someone you know has a problem and wants help. You can call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Please gamble responsibly. Good luck to everyone. Let's go win some money. See you soon.
We all silly like the mayor.